Yes, I know we're live. But wait, they know I'm here. They know I'm
I don't think anyone is good at streaming. I'm watching the YouTube stream.
guys. How dare you not hear this jazz?
Oh, well, I can hear our voices now.
No shit, Sherlock. Hi, welcome to the Derailed Podcast. I am your lovely host, Jackie Wolf, purveyor of things. I have popcorn, you don't. Meh. And I am joined currently by Warficus, at True Warficus, the Warficus. If I keep saying his name, eventually he will do something. Eventually he will complain. That is not the one I want. Where, sir, is the one I want? The one I want. Obviously, it doesn't exist. Damn. We're doing this live again. Also joined by Shadow Hawk. He's
That's
a
not
person.
true. I'm not really here.
He's a person, I swear. He exists.
Do I?
Well, you're definitely British.
That's at least confirmed.
Wait, hold on. Do 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 boo 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 boo. Hmm.
Meh.
Hmm.
We're only on episode 12.
Yes, we're already on. Well, we're actually on a further episode than 12, but
It's like episode 20.
yeah, because it wasn't originally the Derailed Podcast. We renamed it to the Derailed Podcast.
Completely randomly. For no reason at all.
None.
None.
We're not evading taxes.
We didn't try to
Yeah.
have a show format or anything.
Totally didn't, actually. I've never done that. I don't know what you're talking about. That sounds like gay and cringe.
Anyways, do we have any topics for today?
Oh, well, have you heard about the thing with Nintendo?
What did Nintendo do?
What they do
Nintendo
now?
has... So they have tracked down notorious hardcore Nintendo pirate and hardware modification people based off of their Reddit post.
Who are they going
Okay.
after?
John Archbox, and there was another one that they got like 3 months ago. But rather than tracking down people based off of IPs, they're tracking people down based off of Reddit posts from 2015.
You know,
They told me 4chan would never prepare me for real life.
I've never known a company that tries so hard to punish people for liking their games.
Oh, I hate their games.
Genuinely.
Yeah, well, it's Nintendo. Sega used to be like that. They used to be.
I mean, well,
Don't ever give Shining
Sony
Force a
used to
bad
be
review.
like that.
Don't ever give Shining Force a bad review. Never give Shining Force a bad review.
What is Shining
happens?
Force, and why have I never heard of this?
Because there's a Total Biscuit video about it.
Hmm.
What happened?
Sega would DMCA strike anybody that gave Shining Force a bad review.
Is that legal?
Yes,
Tell me
it
it's a
is.
crap game without telling me it's a crap game.
Was it a bad game?
It was. It wasn't bad. It was kind of like medium. Yeah, it was okay.
You know,
But if you pointed out
actually
something,
thinking about that era, like a mid game was basically a bad game. We had it
Stays
so
a
good.
mid game, like say Stellar Blade, is like best game ever made. People are craving mid games.
no, Shining Force wasn't that bad. It just wasn't that good. It was just kind of meh. It came out in like 2017, and it was just on to cause problems if you talked about it on YouTube. Because Sega lawyers were crazy, man.
Well, I'm glad Nintendo's not that bad yet.
Does Nintendo still have that? This is like years ago. This is back during when TB was still alive. In order to play Nintendo games on YouTube, you had to join this exclusive program, like a Nintendo Club sort of thing, and you were allowed to post Let's
Oh,
Plays of Nintendo games. There's so many rules on it. Does that still exist?
No, they got rid of that. Sorta. It's now all part of your end user license agreement.
Cody says hi, by the way.
What?
He's watching. From Foxden. Cody. Borelli. Whatever you know him by.
He's watching.
Wolf
Oh.
knows him.
What do I know?
Look, I can't keep up with what platforms I'm on half the time.
Yeah, I've noticed.
And I'm adding more platforms all the time.
I will be
Why?
back in like 5 minutes.
Why? Because eventually, Jackie will be a household.
You will be a household?
Yes, I will be a household.
Shit.
Totally. I'm also testing
Okay.
out a new feature on Rumble if anybody is watching over on the Rumble side of things. Low latency streaming. It seems to be about 10 seconds behind instead of the normal Rumble 45 seconds behind.
Well, that's better.
I
Can our internet
guess.
handle this?
Yes. So I did find out what was going on with our internet last night, and it was my fault.
What were you doing?
Okay, so listen. Listen, this is a Microsoft issue.
Oh, Windows did it. Okay.
So you know this thing called OneDrive, right?
Yeah, what did you do?
Well, apparently now Windows copies the documents folder 1-to-1 anytime something is changed.
Uh-huh.
A lot of games save games in the document folder in roaming, right?
Right.
So as I'm playing a game, every time it's saved, it was uploading a new version of that file.
Right.
Okay, this is where it gets even funnier. For Windows to upload the version of this file and for me to access the file, it then has to be re-downloaded from OneDrive.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that it saves itself completely again on the computer. Meaning it has to upload again. Are you seeing a problem here?
How much is this costing us?
It's not. It's an inbuilt Windows feature that I turned off that I didn't know was returned on because of an update.
Why are we still putting up with Windows, like, as a society?
Because I don't have a video editing option off of Windows, and most of the streaming software I use has to use Windows.
This is awful.
Yes, I know. Guys, you need to help me. I need a very powerful Linux-based editing software, and yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Someone just developed that right now.
There's a few of them, but they're not as powerful as what I use, so. Like, there is
And
a
what do you
fork
use
of...
it for?
I pick up side gigs.
Jackie is everywhere. You just don't know it.
Plus, I've been working on something else.
Oh?
Yeah, I've been slowly working on doing pre-recorded content.
I am back.
I have plans for 2025. I can't explain these plans, but it does involve burning down Shadow's house.
I have plans right now.
Technically not my house. Let me when I move to the US.
You live in a house? How dare you? But yes.
Yeah, I've just doxed myself. I live in a house.
What is a house?
I live on a floor.
Yeah.
Anyways, yes, as far as it goes, Nintendo is being Nintendo-fying. Hence the name of this podcast episode as Shadow of Doubt, as played by Nintendo. Because there is some creepy shit going on with that shit. Shit, no? Anyways. Apparently the ADL is suing Valve. Again.
What?
I have to preface this again.
What did Valve do this time?
Well, it involves the Supreme Court.
Okay.
Shadow, would you like to start off with
What?
Would you like to go?
Oh,
Would
do you mean the
Yes, I set you up for it, and you're over here like off in space.
the ADL thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ADL's doing their thing again, where they're like, usually they would send a letter to the company themselves saying, "Oh, your platform's full of anti-Semites and Nazis, blah blah blah. You need to do this and that." This time they've gone to the U.S. Senate and got the Senate to send a letter to Gabe Newell threatening him that he needs to moderate Steam.
Yes.
Because apparently they've quote unquote investigated Steam and found that it's infested with like tens of thousands of anti-Semites, and all their examples they listed were Pepe the Frog memes and jokes.
Wait, is it illegal to be anti-Semitic now?
Yes, it's actually more illegal to be anti-Semitic than anything else.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you're not allowed to talk bad about the and
Oh no.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut because I don't want to get us demonetized. But
No, it just
demonetized. What? I was monetized.
it's just
what?
it's just crazy. We have this like thing called a Second Amendment, and Valve still getting sued by the ATL for Pepe.
all I'm saying is for supposedly the most oppressed and downtrodden group in history, you know, if you say anything about them, they take your bank account, they drag you through the media, they threaten you with like the government, and like literally illegal to not like them. It's like, wow, they're so downtrodden and oppressed.
Yes.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yes. And your point? Hold on, I have to. Your point? I mean, this is the U.S. you're talking about. They do this shit because normalize hate, more like normalize me playing Starcraft.
I couldn't talk shit about the ADL though, because the ADL are known for basically acting like a mafia, a literal mafia. Because I think I watched the Honey Badgers. They're like a men's rights podcast. They're all women, but they're essentially they're all MRAs. They did a podcast about circumcision, and there was I think it was Iceland wanted to make it illegal to circumcise boys under the age of 18, and the ADL basically threatened the government of Iceland, saying, if you go ahead with this bill and ban circumcision, we're going to use our influence in, you know, the world media and our influence over politicians in nearly every country in the West to paint your country as being run by fascists and Nazis, and we'll basically smear Iceland as like a far-right neo-Nazi country. So they literally act like a mafia. They threaten governments. It's insane. And it's over evil shit like circumcision.
Yeah.
I just want to take this time to let everybody know that the masquerade has slipped and I have joined her clan Giovanni. Fuck you. I mean,
Makes you wonder why a supposed secular Christian country like the United States has circumcision as standard practice, despite the country not being majority Jewish.
Okay, so
Because Protestants.
Do you really want to know that story? Because
Oh God, we're talking about it.
A lot of people don't actually know that story. So in the 1800s, there was this man named John Killock.
Oh, I know.
No.
He wasn't Jewish. He was a Quaker. Believe it or not, he was an extreme religious nut job. Yes, the company.
He was mad. I remember one of his quotes is he said that they should circumcise children at 13 specifically so they feel the pain.
Yes,
Because his whole thing was he hated masturbation and he wanted to basically make it so that everyone was too terrified to masturbate. It was like, right, we get them at 13, we chop the end of their dick off so they feel the pain and they'll never touch it again. He was evil. Genuinely evil.
He wasn't evil, it was just what his religion dictated. Religion is not a one-size-fits-all thing, guys. When it comes... Because we at Cox Studios have various religions and non-religions and semi-religions. Don't know how you have a semi-religion, but sometimes you have a semi-religion. But that being said...
Yeah, I got a semi-gone.
John Kellogg, of Kellogg's cereal fame, by the way. Remember that next time you eat a bowl of cornflakes, the guy that made it basically law in the United States that you have to be circumcised.
Joke's on him, I skip breakfast.
But yes, and do you want to know what the argument he used for it was? Wasn't stop masturbation.
What?
Sanitation.
Oh yeah, the crazy argument that it somehow lowers the risk of like infections, or my favourite one, cancer.
Yes.
Because like that bit of skin is apparently the only part of the penis that can get cancer. If you cut that off, you are now immune to cancer.
Yes, but the thing is cleanliness or cleaning technology was still in its infancy, so people actually believed any of these miracle cures. So yeah, he's basically the reason why Americans are mostly circumcised.
I had this argument literally a few weeks ago with Asmagan because a lot of Americans, because all they know is circumcision, they don't know that it's not normal. When you tell them that it's not normal, they just argue with you because they can't, they don't get it.
Again,
and I had to explain to him, like, no, that it's not normal, and he's like, no, you need to show me like proof, like peer-reviewed studies and blah blah blah, or I don't believe you. And I'm like,
it's not normal anywhere else in the world. Well, except Israel.
Well, except Muslim countries in Israel, because Muslims do it too. It's not just Jewish.
Yeah, but the Muslim reason for doing it is funnier to me. The Muslims...
Oh, no.
It is prescribed by their religion. It is prescribed by their religion.
From Valve?
I don't fucking know. We have been derailed 3 layers deep, and there's not a Took here to blame.
The fuck?
The co-host is going to be late today.
Who's been drawing dicks?
I don't know. But the reason the Muslims do it is because Jewish soldiery convinced them that they had to do it in order to see Allah. I'm not kidding. And it became
So it was
part
a
of
prank.
it was a prank that became part of their religion.
Jesus.
Yeah. I have offended so many people today. Hi, I'm Jackie.
We offend people?
All the time.
Shit.
Anyways. Back to the Valve ADL thing. This has actually been going on for a while. I've done videos on it. I don't know if they're still up. They're probably still up on Rumble. They may even be on BitChute. I don't know. It is hard for me to keep up with things. Once you hit a certain point of you stream to 8 different platforms, it gets a little bit nightmarish.
How does Styx Hexenhammer do it?
Didn't he get arrested recently?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Do we want to talk about this? Because it's actually really funny.
I only heard the start of that, so I didn't hear how it ended or what it was all about. I just know he got arrested.
So it was some like weird, like I don't know. That man's a bit of a perv. I think he was trying to fuck some woman. Long story short, she got him stuck in prison for a night, right?
Hmm.
His story of his time and what was it? It was like Cincinnati, I think. It was some large city. Is he goes to the jailhouse and everyone in there is smoking pot. Just
Do
constant.
you know what would be funny is imagine someone's been arrested for possession of weed and you get put in the cell and then you can smell from down the hall weed that the officers that have just arrested you are now smoking.
And then a guy will come into your cell and hand you some weed. Yeah. The American justice system.
I don't want to know what he got
Enough
charged.
about Kamala Harris.
I don't know.
So that's all I have on it because Styx doesn't talk about his personal life. I just thought it was really funny that the first time he's ever been in jail, people are just smoking pot.
But what was the arrest of? Because I heard he'd hit someone, but it was sketchy as to whether that was true. Like
That it's probably all made up. No one fucking knows what happened. But he was in and out in a day, so
yeah. Where is he an American citizen? Because sometimes he says he's in like Scandinavia, and sometimes he says
he
he's
has
in
dual
the US.
citizenship.
He is a citizen of the United States and the Netherlands. He travels a lot. He's done videos while in Japan. Sticks to the job actually makes him a shit ton of money.
Yeah,
He doesn't.
dude's a legend.
He makes a lot of money, and he also sleeps something like 5 hours a day.
Jeez.
Yeah. So if you want to make money like Styx Hexenhammer, enter a contract with a demon and never sleep. That's what he's done.
I don't know
What
about
is
that.
his job?
He believe it or not, for being a technical Luddite, from what I remember, his job is basically reading political data amongst the world and advising on political decisions for corporations.
He also preserves occult works, which is a huge deal because a lot of that stuff would literally not be available if it wasn't for him.
He also transcribes things that are written in dead languages to English.
Yep.
So he speak of in tongue.
He's a very busy person who still finds time to maintain a garden in both the United States and the Netherlands.
Yes.
But yeah, no, he's a burnt out pothead that did something that fucked with his mind and
And is supposedly in a contract with a demon that he talks about constantly.
He managed to get past the giant 12-foot praying mantis that scared off Joe Rogan and Alex Jones.
Yeah.
Well, what it is if he ever smokes weed again, it will kill him.
Or if not kill him, cause severe mental damage.
Yeah, he cannot do any kind of mind altering substance anymore. He can't even drink.
Yep.
However,
I mean, I don't do those things anyway.
Kratom did this to him. Never ever fucking do Kratom.
What is that?
It's a legal designer drug that is meant to be like pot, but it will, if you overdose on it, it can really fuck you up.
Yep, but he took overdosing from Kratom and basically built a career.
They took.
I took.
Whatever it is, British.
Oh god, it's Took, run. We're doing drugs.
We're doing drugs. And now
What kind of drugs?
we started off talking about the new Valve ADL thing where they've got the US Senate telling Valve that there's too much hate speech on Steam.
And then
I'm sorry, what?
fucking Shadow went crazy talking about the Jew and
The what? What?
So the United States government has at least 2 senators that have sent letters to Gabe Newell threatening him over the amount of hate speech on Steam. Mostly Pepe the Frog.
I just want to say I make no apologies for being right.
The other part of this, because I recently looked all this up, is Steam literally has a Nazi community of 200 people on it. How many people fucking use Steam a day?
how did they find 200 people?
They're probably the same 200 people that were on Twitter as Nazis. Let's not fucking beat around that
They're
bush.
probably the ADL.
That was the joke. You remember when the ADL found anti-Semitism on X when Elon first bought it? And it was accounts that they made.
Yeah.
And then they had to inject advertising data into these accounts. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it is kind of like the fucking Columbus, Ohio shit I was talking about last night. Like, fuck, man.
All these things that I am unfamiliar with because I've been working.
See, that is the natural state of the Took. He is either working or not working.
Sometimes both at the same time.
It really depends on how well my day is going.
Mm-hmm.
And how good the internet connection is where I am.
Mm-hmm. We do live in a society.
I'm currently on an 8-week course to try and get me a job.
So, anyways, yeah, no, the ADL's after fucking Steam. Six Hexinghammer was arrested in October for
Wait,
something
what?
dealing with a woman.
Women, not
Wow.
even once.
So, what? Like, what do we? Like, is he in trouble with the law? What's going on?
Oh no, he was
Why
only
did they
in jail.
arrest him?
He was only in jail for like a night. Nobody knows.
He doesn't want to talk about it. It's just his whole thing is he doesn't talk about his personal
Yes.
life at all.
Yeah, he got
Which
kind of
is really
upset.
wise.
He got kind of upset because I gave out his actual name though.
Yeah.
Is it not Tarl?
No, it's not.
Huh.
This is not as bad as getting arrested in the UK. If you get arrested in Britain, the British police actually post on Twitter not just your name but your address.
Well, you see,
Yeah.
the British government don't like me anymore because, you know, I say things that make the British government very fucking uncomfortable.
I'm fairly certain that they definitely don't like me.
They during the recent riots, they were arresting people even in other countries, like people who were on holiday that posted about it. So as soon as they got off the plane back in Britain, the police just took them straight into custody. There was
Because
one
that's
that they
totally not a
brought up
dictatorship.
on Lotus Eaters, where they showed like the Twitter post by the police say, "Here we've just arrested," had the guy's name, who lives, and then had posted his address. Now, why do you think they were doing that? A guy
Now,
who's
everything
spoken out.
about you, get into the gulag. I mean,
No. Because all these people, again, were speaking out against the fact that we're being invaded by these Muslims, right?
yeah,
And the
it's
police have just
literally the
given
beginnings
this
of.
man's address out to the public. Now,
Yeah, I
who's
know.
going to
It's
use
literally the
that?
beginnings of basically the Red Scare or the Red Purge. You guys are just entering the beginning years of the USSR.
It was so the Muslims could go to his house and threaten his family. That's what it was. Which they do, but many times.
So, since this is a gaming news podcast and we generally
Thank
derail into
God.
other things,
We are?
we are apparently. I mean, that's what I list this as. Guess what?
Welcome to your semi-quasi news podcast.
I wish I didn't have to work for Overall on God. Yeah. So, did you know DLC is now Game of the Year eligible?
Oh, fuck off.
Why?
Because
It's not a
gaming companies are
game.
shit.
There
Do you
hasn't
want to
been a.
know? Do you want to know what DLC is in the running for Game of the Year?
Please, just tell me it's Game of the Year Veilguard somehow.
No. This is running against Game or Velgard for Game of the Year.
Is there even a game that came out this year that could like qualify as a game of any year?
They're definitely a game of time.
It is a
Yeah.
DLC. It is a DLC that came out this year.
This is where gaming is. It's so bad that we have to resort to DLC for games that are still not that good.
See, I don't take the Game
I
Awards
don't know.
seriously because
I'm
was it
surprised.
last year we got Hogwarts Legacy, or was it the year before? Like that was the most played game and the most bought game, and they just completely removed it from the Game Awards for political reasons. So, like, I don't take
Pretty
it
much,
seriously.
yeah.
There, I will give you a spoiler because I forgot I wasn't streaming the fucking browser.
I have not played a game. Okay, I have not played a like big scale game in the last 5 years that I think is better than Crackdown.
Okay.
That's
Elden
my
Ring's
opinion on the
DLC
industry.
should not be eligible for Game of the Year. It should be called an expansion, and it should be called buggy as fuck because I can't run the fucking thing because it keeps stuttering on my goddamn PC because hey, Linux can't have anything nice. Fuck this mortal coil.
I just like how it's in the running with fucking the worst Dragon Age game.
You know what?
You're shitting me. This thing is going up. You know what? And hands down, Elden Ring is going to win because Veilguard is a literal piece of shit that somebody fried up, polished, and said it'll work.
Mind. I've changed my mind. I want a DLC to win over Veilguard.
I want a burning dumpster to win over Veilguard.
Let's see what the Game of the Year runners other than Veilguard is. We have Astrobot.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Metaphor Refanazo. Never heard of it.
Just looks like another game from Atlas.
I think it's a Shin Megami Tensei game.
Oh look, a remake of a game that's already happened.
A remake
Why
of
would
a
that
remake. A remake
God,
of a remake of a demake, actually.
Oh my god, fuck off.
I watched Synthetic Man's vid on that they
Wait, what the fuck is this? Poker roguelike. This is where we are.
Yep. Silent Hill 2.
A remake, a demake of a classic.
I've actually heard good things about it. Dragon Age of the Veilguard.
Pronoun. I can't think of anything right now.
Dark Horses. These are games that shouldn't be up there, but for some reason are.
Oh, Dragon's Dogma 2. Like, Helldivers itself was fantastically more worthy, and then, Sony, seeing bountiful happiness upon the world, said, I can't let that happen.
UFO 50. Which is just classic type game. Animal Wall, Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom is in the running. And possible upcoming ones are Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl, Metal Gear Solid Delta, which is a remake of Metal Gear Solid 4.
So out of these,
we're finally going to be able to play Metal Gear Solid 4?
Oh god.
It's, yeah.
You mean watch Metal Gear Solid 4?
No. You can't even do that.
God.
That game has been locked on the PS3 forever. And even when it launched, it was near impossible to play unless you had 20 hours in a good internet connection.
It also, I don't understand why it's really not that hard to download a movie.
Well, when the movie is like, what was it, almost a terabyte after all the patches?
All that just so you can press X on occasion.
I
To
know.
be fair, out of the classic ones before 5, 4 had the best gameplay.
4. Okay, I
It
will,
had
I
gameplay?
will die on the hill. The first act of Metal Gear Solid 4 is the best Metal Gear Solid like gameplay, like hard none. You
See,
have
what happened is
two.
somebody needed to stop Hideo Kojima from being such a navel-gazing douche and just like tone it down a bit and actually make a fucking game instead of, I really have this vision here. So what we're going to do is get all these video cameras and we're going to have all these people mocap out these scenes. Yeah, what about the gameplay? Gameplay.
No, but here's the thing: the first act is like you've got two fucking private military companies shooting at each other, and you're just like a third agent. And if you
You're just
play it
in there.
right, yeah, but if you play it right, both sides will be friendly to you.
Huh.
I
Interesting.
I told Worf my theory on the entirety of how all the Metal Gears are actually connected.
Yes,
Aren't they, though?
because they
Yeah,
are.
they're all connected. They're all the same series.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how they make sense they're connected because so many people dive deep into trying to figure out the lore of all of this, how this all happened.
Oh.
There are
What the
multiple snakes.
biggest thing that 4 fixed with the Metal Gear franchise is you can move while crouched.
Listen, we're gonna do a series. I don't know when we're doing it. It's gonna be called the Red String, and we're gonna make someone who has never played or touched Metal Gear before try and solve the story of Metal Gear on a conspiracy board. It's gonna be great.
Is it bad that I've never played or touched Metal Gear before?
Oh man, that's
I
great.
hadn't until a few years ago. I bought the collection for PS3.
I
I
have 2 of the
the
PS2 games. I'm trying to get number 1.
I have the collection for PC, which does not have 4 right now.
Speaking of unnecessary amounts of budget being directed to places it doesn't need to go, have you heard how much Star Citizen's up to?
Didn't they just press the
They've
threshold
done
of like
something.
$2 billion?
$700 million.
Yes, they actually have. The single player is supposed to come out next year.
They said that every year.
It must be a year ending in a number.
It must be. No, actually, they said that 60 hours of gameplay is enough gameplay for a single player experience.
There's no way they got 60 hours of single player gameplay all set up to go. Also, I'm not exactly excited because Mark Hamill was set to play in Squadron 42, and since that has been announced, things have changed with Mark Hamill.
Yeah, a lot.
I couldn't give a rat's ass if Mark Hamill was in the star role, or if he was in a supporting role, or got shot in the
He's
first 5
playing a
minutes.
mentor character.
Oh god, well, I don't want to play it anymore.
So one of my absolute favorite things about this is somebody was asking me how it takes so long to develop a game like Star Citizen, and I was like, well, it starts with buying a door.
No, it doesn't even start with buying a door. It starts with having a concept for a nice, easy to build, compact house, and you decide, hey, I can get this funded if I just get a few of my friends to help me out. And then instead of being sensible and stopping at building that nice little house with some extra windows, you decide, hey, why not? I could add a stone turret on the side that's 3 stories tall. Let's fucking do it, son. And you keep crowdfunding it. Eventually, you have this endless house that keeps going absolutely nowheres with the most crazy, insane shit that's absolutely everywhere. Because, hey, instead of having a nice conservative little house that works, you wanted a grand mansion.
What annoyed me is because I used to follow Star Citizen like religiously. I used to watch all the update videos and the progress reports. And every report was, we've finished this ship. And here's what we've got planned for next week. We're going to have this ship finished. And then the week after that, this ship. I'm like, yeah, but what about the game the ships go in? I don't care about the ships.
Well, we have to redesign this
Make
whole
the
universe.
game.
When it comes to Star Citizen, one of my biggest things that I laughed about was they're handcrafting every world in Star Citizen, right?
I thought they had a generator.
No, they're handcrafting all of the
I'll be right
core
back.
worlds in Star Citizen, which takes for fucking ever. If you've ever
Their
tried
planet, they're fully sized planets as well.
Well, I know that they're fully sized planets. I just thought that their original thing is that they had some sort of thing that would build the planet, and you could go from any point in space to any point on that planet, and it would naturally
No,
just
the
no load
core-
screen.
The core 150 systems will be handcrafted, at least from the last update I read.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
This is what
I'm
happens
sure
when you don't have somebody to
most of
rein
the
in
world
game design.
between locations is going to have been generated.
I think after that's when it just starts being generated because they want to go for that kind of Eve thing where it starts off with very defined characteristics of planets and systems.
Even then, Eve had a scope. This is less of a scope and more of a whole.
Hey, it's still technically the first game to have VR support.
Game. No, it is the first tech demo to have VR support. Early access tech demo that has been
Also
ongoing for a decade.
Also, another thing that came out of Star Citizen that I actually like is server sharding, which literally is their attempt to not have time warping like you do in EVE Online. For
Which
those
is
of you who
going to be difficult.
it is difficult. It's all fucking difficult. I want to go meet Mr. Rogers and be like, dude, you're insane. Because
Yes,
for
the
most
time
people,
dilation in Eve.
so for those of you who
I
don't
don't know
know,
what that is.
Star Citizen started off as this is what Freelancer was supposed to be.
Which was
Freelancer
just ship combat in space with trading aspects.
right, and now it's Grand Theft Auto.
Now it's, hey, we decided that you're able to not only
I think
fly
you
all of
guys
these
are
ships, they're
missing
modular and you need a crew.
the reason I got into Star Citizen, what I saw it as was essentially Star Wars Galaxies.
Well, that's the idea. That's what Freelancer
Yeah.
was supposed to be. It was supposed to be you make your own story in space.
Because
Yeah.
if you've ever played, I've played the Galaxies emulator. I never played it when it was live. The whole idea was this wasn't, World of Warcraft or Star Wars: The Old Republic, where there's a whole written out story quest for you to play, and everyone playing is the same class, is essentially the same character as you. In Galaxies, you didn't have any quests or stories. You were a person living in a world in the Star Wars universe, and you
Well,
could have any job you wanted, basically.
It did
Yes.
have quests, but it had its original scope was supposed to be player driven, but of course who was releasing it? I
They
think it was
eventually destroyed
EA.
it and turned it into World of Warcraft, and it died. But yeah.
So
No, they destroyed it by introducing Jedi and then made it super
trying
easy
to
to become a
think.
Jedi.
I'm trying to think. No, Jedi were always in galaxies. You just had to figure out how to become a Jedi, and it was different based off of your character.
Actually, there is a fun little documentary that came out from Mad Season show. They weren't originally in. Well, and then they got put in a patch, but it was supposed to be six. You had to do 6 hidden quests, and originally it was supposed to be tied to different, like your jobs.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
it was becoming too hard to find it because you had to go through all of them because you had no way to get the very last one. It was just kind of
Okay,
like, you'll figure it out.
So, do you want to know who created Star Wars Galaxies?
Who was was it EA?
No,
Who was it?
the Sony Online Entertainment. It was their very first MMO. Because remember, they bought EverQuest.
It's
They
not the
didn't develop.
producer. Who's what are they called? The distributor or the light? Who is it? Like when, say, like BioWare puts out something, but EA gets to put their name on it. What is it?
Publisher.
Well, no.
Publisher.
Yeah.
Yes.
The publisher was LucasArts. SOE, or as we would call them today, Daybreak.
I thought Sony was their own thing still.
You know, but back in the day, there used to be a physical collection you could get that had Galaxies, Empire at War, I think one of the Battlefronts, Clone Commandos. It was basically just a cardboard box with all these games in it.
Oh god,
So
Public Commando was awesome.
I think it had
So
Jedi
to-
Outcast, because I don't think Academy was out yet.
to explain what happened to SOE started in 1997. Sony seeing this huge boom in internet gaming as a good thing, right? This gave us games like PlanetSide, a lot of
Oh,
really
God, yes.
memorable MMOs, right?
You know, some of the best online games ever made. Yeah.
The golden
Okay.
age of gaming.
This was when SOE was an independent department of Sony. It was independent. It was under the parent company of Sony Computer Entertainment, which has stuff like PlayStation in it, right?
Yee.
But Sony became more and more greedy, more and more pushy until I think it was 2015 when Daybreak quit being part of Sony. Literally, they came in, they fired everybody, and everybody just went, okay, we're forming our own company and buying all the old IP back. That is what happened to SOE.
Pretty much.
I wish I had played the original PlanetSide. I've played PlanetSide 2 a lot, but when I hear about the first one, it sounds so much better. Because 2 sounds so streamlined compared to what
It
was.
really was. I never got to play the first one either, but I remember
And they
seeing
even
a bunch of stuff for
streamlined
it.
PlanetSide 2, because I played 2 since beta and it was great, and then they streamlined it. What they did is they added this thing called the instant action button.
So,
So basically,
Oh,
when you load into the
yeah.
game, you click that button and get teleported to wherever the battle is.
I
So
remember
you know
that.
what you never ever see anymore? Transports. You never see the flying ones or the APCs because there's no point. You just click the button and teleport to the action,
yeah.
like
Oh,
Call of
God.
Duty.
I
So, do
remember
you
I
wanna-
had.
It's
Oh,
funny
go ahead.
that you're talking about this, but the thing that directly led to SOE being shut down by Sony was PlanetSide 2.
Yep.
I remember they
Planet-
had EverQuest Next that they had planned as well.
Yeah. But the reason it was PlanetSide was because Sony had broke their promise that they made to gamers when PlanetSide 2 came out.
It
What was
wasn't
that?
supposed to be monetized.
It wasn't supposed to be aggressively monetized, and you would be able to achieve anything in game. The only things
Yeah.
that would be aggressively monetized was skins.
Which
when
they
they broke-
immediately lied about.
When they broke that promise, the player base just dropped off the face of the earth.
And also the gameplay became super stale, not just because of the way the instant action came in. The gameplay
They
was
also-
if you had to hit something, it was just max crash the whole place. A big clan would just drop in maxes, overwhelm everything, push everybody back to the spawn points, and
They
then
also
cap the
never
place.
finished the game mode. The entire point of PlanetSide was to push into the enemy base, and they never finished the game mode because they still, to this day, do not have base battles.
No, they have them because you can now. I remember they put in base building, quote
No,
unquote, for
that's not what I'm
mining
talking
this
about.
secondary
The portal.
resource.
The portals, the like starting spawn points, those were supposed to be like the big battle to finish a map.
Ah, yes.
And maps would
Where you
battle
just
down
get pushed
to
back, or where they
Yeah.
just take the whole map, and then it's just, oh no, you're all locked out. Go do another one.
No, yeah, and that's the thing. Instead of the actual game mode that was promised, instead it's lockdown time. Whoever has the most zones gets the area, and then we'll just jump to another map.
Yeah, you guys can
Yep.
now go do those other servers. Well, what's the point? Like, I had a fucking Valkyrie set up so I could go fucking hot drop people in with door gunners and shit like I was a Vietnam copter, but nobody would ever drop in and do anything. Or, I did like the bullet drop. They had some of the gun physics down quite well. But then they just made everything pointless side grades that cost a shitload of money.
Well, another little fun thing about this, right? With Daybreak having to split off from Sony, is Daybreak kind of was trying to work on Planet Side 3 for a little while. From what I've heard, it keeps getting stalled in alpha because Daybreak's having the same problems that Bungie had when Bungie was independent, but they don't want to piss off their fan base again.
Also, isn't Daybreak owned by some Saudi prince?
Nope.
Yeah, because I thought they ran Tribes.
No, that's not Daybreak.
They used to run Tribes.
You're thinking of the Smite people.
You're thinking of High Res.
Yes.
Yeah, high res.
And High Res's little split that caused for Tribes 3 to exist is literally they're both companies owned by Saudi oil princes.
There's also the people who own Metal Slug. That's also owned by a Saudi prince, who has treated the brand better than when Metal Slug was owned by who was it? Was it Sega? Who owned all the Neo Geo stuff?
I don't know.
Fuck. It gets complicated, and all roads lead to Saudi oil prince.
I wish would happen.
You know,
I wish someone
the
like
way-
Elon Musk, who's like really rich but really based, would like buy Star Wars off of Disney.
Well, Tribes 3 is dead, so.
Already?
Yep.
God damn it.
they couldn't get updates out, and the community left.
Pretty much. Well, no, the community became toxic because of a delay in one update, and then, yeah, it went downhill from there.
There was also a bunch of that fun, oh, what else was sneaking in? Oh, right, more ideology.
Mm-hmm.
Did it go woke?
Just
Yeah.
a bit.
Isn't it
Yep.
just a multiplayer game?
Yes.
What did they do?
But yeah, no, another one of my little favorite things about the fact that Daybreak exists. There are two ways of playing Magic the Gathering online, right? You can either play
Yes.
the official Wizards of the Coast app, which was made by one of the former BioWare employees, or you can play Magic the Gathering online.
Jesus. And
Which
as
I-
for how the community went woke there, every single other post was pretty much more ideology crap.
Oh yeah, did you guys hear what's going on in Magic?
Oh god, no.
Universes Beyond, their crossovers, are now going to be core sets.
Oh yeah, I'm well aware.
They will be standard fucking viable and include the likes of SpongeBob SquarePants.
I'm done. I quit. Fuck this.
You know
Fuck
what's
this
even
mortal
funnier?
coil.
Do you know what's even funnier than that? A lot of
Mm.
ideologues are dropping Magic because of a certain vice president.
Oh.
Yeah, JD Vance. JD Vance played Magic the Gathering.
I forgot about that.
Oh shit.
We'll reclaim it just by, having him just show up about shit. Oh, fuck yes.
See, this is why I want Elon to buy the franchises I like. Because say Star Wars right now, the community's full of all like the new woke fans that don't like you criticizing the new stuff and call you a bigot if you say you like the older canon, not canon,
Oh, here's the
legend.
thing. All we
But
have
it's
to
the thing.
do to take our all we have to
What
do
we've
to take
seen
our
from
stuff back.
Twitter.
We don't need to buy it. We just need to get Donald Trump to start talking about
Hear
how
me
much
out.
he loves Space
Hear
Marines,
me out.
and it's over.
Hear me out, right? What we see from Twitter is that the left will abandon and disavow something if Elon buys it. So if Elon buys Star Wars, that will get rid of all the woke fans. They will all disavow Star Wars as far right because Elon owns it. It will fix the whole. If he buys Doctor Who, we could get Doctor Who back because all the woke fans would disavow Doctor Who and leave.
Oh my god, yes. No, he needs to buy the BBC and shut it down.
If Elon owns something, it's instantly reclaimed for us.
But that's what I'm saying. He doesn't even need to buy it. He just needs to talk about how much he loves fucking Star Wars and like.
Well, the other thing is
Talk
we
about-
can't have one person owning everything.
Right.
Also,
I watched all this, the Half-Life 2 documentary. They showed more stuff that we hadn't seen before that was going to be in episode 3, including
All
this
I'm
creature,
saying
which was
is
so
if we got
impressive.
All I'm saying is if we got a battle report of Donald Trump playing Space Marines versus Chaos, 40K would be saved.
40K
Yes.
is actually kind of slowly pulling itself out of the ditch.
Notice. Have you seen that new box for what was it?
Have you seen the Christmas box for the Dark Angels?
No, there was a book series. Bowman posted about it. It looked really good.
Yeah, no, they've been slowly
Jackie.
digging themselves up.
Have you seen the Half-Life documentary where they showed this footage?
Not yet, but I wanted to.
It's good.
I wanted to talk about this because of Half-Life 2 is 20 years old.
Oh god.
And there's an important thing about episode 3 that a lot of people don't know.
Oh my god, are we wait, episode 3? They can actually count to 3, but it's still not Half-Life fucking 3!
So episode 3 was heavily in development. Apparently, they had the game about halfway finished, right?
And then
Left 4 Dead.
If you see the footage of that creature there that they're showing, that was going to be in the source engine. What it could do is it could actually split apart into smaller pieces. It was so impressive what they had this NPC able to do.
Oh, you can do
You
a
need
lot of
to watch the
impressive shit.
documentary.
You can do a lot. They said that the reason that they haven't worked on a Half-Life 3 yet is because gaming technology hasn't caught up with what they want to do with it. But the reason they abandoned Half-Life...
we need the game to be able to actually reach into real life and kick you straight in the balls.
Well, it's kind of how Gaben thinks. You have to constantly push the bounds in Half-Life. That is one of the big things he's always said.
Yeah. Again, they mention all this in the documentary. They were like,
This
"This is
motherfucker's just
episode
gonna
3. So
invent
how do we
Sword Art
top
Online."
what we've done in the previous episodes?" Because every Half-Life game has a new gimmick. Like in Half-Life 2, it was just the physics and the gravity gun. You know, episode 1, I think it was the new lighting engine and stuff, and then, but they couldn't come up with something new and impressive for episode 3, and they didn't just want to continue. I think Gabe Newell says in part of the documentary, says, if we were to release it simply to like finish the story, then he feels like it'd be kind of how do you put it, like not upholding his responsibility to the fans, because just finishing the story isn't enough. It's a game. It needs to have something new, like a new thing that it's pushing.
Well, that's the thing. Gabe... The story of the Gaben is a hilarious story to me, and a lot of people don't know the story of the Gaben. The Gaben wasn't a video gamer.
They worked on operating software.
Yes, he was a software engineer for Microsoft, who was tasked in 1995 with the release of Windows 95 to port id's amazingly popular game Doom to Windows. He was working directly with idsoft, where he fell in love with both Doom and Quake. He then bought a version, or he then licensed the Quake engine, which at that point had started being called Quake Gold. Fun little fact, Call of Duty still uses Quake Gold. Don't let them lie to you. The first Half-Life is actually written in Quake Gold.
It's a very modified. Yeah.
Yes. But it was ported into Source 1, which Half-Life 2 is made. And
Which
we
is
don't
so
play
funny.
Half-Life Source because it was terrible.
It becomes so funny when you think about how like people still develop content for Gmod, which has parts of it from the Quake engine.
You know, the funny thing about Gary's mod is Gary's mod split off from Half-Life 2. So
Right.
it's not on the same engine that Episode 2 is. So it's actually far behind. And rather than completely remaking Gary's mod from scratch on the Episode 2 engine, he had to, like, every time, he essentially had to recreate all of the new features and technical upgrades that Episode 2 has from scratch in Half-Life 2's engine for Gary's mod.
There we go. We
Gary
have
Newman had to
when
do.
Gabe Newell, we have the moment that Gabe Newell came up with Steam.
Actually, one of the fun parts about
They mentioned
this is...
they go over Steam in the documentary as well.
Yeah.
And how
Yeah,
they
but we
came
have
up with
we have a
that.
picture of the exact moment when he started thinking about the project. There, it's in on-air text.
In the documentary, he talks about how he tried pitching it to so many different companies and investors, and no one thought it was ever going to be possible. They were all telling him, "No, that's not going to work, Gabe, and it will never work that way."
It can't possibly work that way. We never will have, constant data streaming throughout our lives. By the way, have you heard this new iPhone thing?
Just
It's
the idea
ridiculous,
of digital distributed games with updates that are also digitally sent to every user, they just didn't think that was ever going to be a thing, so they wouldn't fund it.
There were two ways of getting updates for games before that. Either you bought the update disc, which didn't cost as much as the game.
Expansion.
Well, no, there were update discs. Like, there was Doom.
If they had a major problem with it, they just release a new they just release a new wave of it, and you just have different versions. So you'll end up with people that have 1.1 or 1. Whatever.
Yeah, you actually have that problem with N64 games.
Yep.
Because the rarest N64 game is, I think it's Ocarina of Time version 1.2 or 0.3. Can't remember.
It's like there's a version of Perfect Dark with a certain bug in it, and certain other ones have different versions of them.
Yeah. It's one of those things that a lot of people don't realize. Back in the day, you either got the latest hard copy or you could get what was known as an update disc on a computer, which id used in the DOS days of Doom. Because you would have Doom version 1.0, version 1.0.1 because id.
Or you could take your risks on the early days of the internet and was it 198K modem or something, or 190 KB modem?
Oh god, back in the days of like Mega Games, Underground Gaming, game groups.
Back when floppies were the thing, they just posted them on boards and shit.
Yep. But that was the thing, like, Steam revolutionized a lot of things, and a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say it's for the better. I miss physical copies.
I do too, but I like the idea that, I think
the thing with the way it is now, the way you get updates digitally, this is what led to the normalization of games launching in like buggy or broken states. And we normalized the day one patch when back in the day a game had to run.
And
if you were to distribute a game, it must run on release.
Yeah, actually, the company that normalized DLC was fucking Bethesda.
They started it, yes, with the horse armor. However, that was the beginning, and this allowed for a rapid advance in DLC.
That's why I often say
And
that we need different terminologies for DLC and expansions.
and there's also the fact that technically we don't own any of these things. If my
You know what?
Steam account gets banned, I can't get any of the money I spent on this back.
Yes, but somebody actually pointed out something else to me recently.
Donald Trump
You
is
don't
going to be implementing an online digital rights act.
No, according to EULA's, you haven't owned a game since 1998.
Nope.
Well, the physical copies that I have before me and undetermined legal reasons that I'm not allowed to specify, they can pry it from my cold dead fucking hands.
I actually think it's a shame, because if I buy something, I should own it. But technically speaking, unless I was running the Linux operating system, which I'm not right now, I'm running Windows, you don't even own your Windows install.
Oh, I know.
That's
I'm
why I
running
switched to
Linux.
Linux.
You don't own your Windows install. You don't own
Anything.
you don't own your OS X install. You own your Linux install, but that's because you do most of the work on it. Funny that. You don't even own the phone. Like, you buy this $1,000 flagship cell phone, right? Like the one I'm holding in my hand.
There are operating systems you can buy for your phone to replace the whatever it is,
Yes.
but depending on the
Yes.
kind of phone you've got.
Yes, but here's
Well,
the fun
some
part. Of, here's the
phones
fun
you
part.
get cannot be jailbroken without like very advanced tools that usually don't exist for 5 years of their running.
Riley, I'm sorry. It's my fault.
Like,
Did
I
you know?
specifically got the Pixel phone. I haven't done it yet because I need Prey to help me with it, but I'm going to put a different operating system on it to get all the
So
Google stuff off it.
it's not the operating system. That's the funny part with Android. It's not the operating system that you don't own. Do you want to know what you don't own when you have a phone?
Physical phone.
Yeah, you don't technically own the hardware of the phone. You are renting the hardware of the phone.
Uncle Ted was right all along.
Mhm.
You don't. It is so fucked up, this world we live in, because, like, I like playing video games, right?
I dare
I'm
you,
looking
Patrick.
in,
Die.
I'm looking into ways to recording me building Gunpla models because I plan on doing that again in the near future.
Very nice.
I'm going to have to buy new tools because my Gunpla building tools are all broken.
Not so nice.
But, yeah, like, fucking, dude. This world is so weird. I don't own the phone. I don't own my phone. I don't own this thing that I paid $1,000 for. It's in my hand right now.
Nope.
I didn't actually pay $1,000 for it, but I'm using a flagship as an example. There are people that go out there and pay for $2,000-$3,000 for a fucking iPhone and don't realize that they don't own that iPhone. They are merely renting that iPhone.
Yeah, but you don't
I
own
think we need to
anything.
have this poem make a comeback. Tax poem.
Oh. Also, unfortunately, I have to pee. This is terrible
Bruh.
timing. But I feel like I'm about to piss myself.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. You don't want to do that.
I already got a degenerate following.
I was about to say, if you listening would like to tune in, please tune into you need to donate to the Patreon for the higher tiers.
Wait, there's a Patreon?
There's a Patreon, there's a subscribe
I
star,
don't know.
there's direct donations, And apparently I have an OnlyFans that I didn't know about.
Why don't I get
Literally
any of
just
this
pictures
money?
of Dysons.
Because I don't make any money. I'm broke.
Duke, are you getting paid for this?
I'll be right back.
I got locked in this basement like months ago.
So anyway,
Are we on like a 15-minute break?
I don't know.
I think we are. Alright, everybody, 15-minute break. Smoke if you got 'em.
Can we be heard on the stream?
I
Or are
have
we
no
snug?
idea. I'm gonna
Oh, yeah,
mute because I'm gonna go get some stuff. I'll be right back.
Okay. So, Duke went to go do some stuff, he said.
Oh, okay. That's fine. But yeah, no, when it comes down to it, I forgot what I was talking about. Suddenly having to pee sucks.
Hello?
Hello?
Who is this?
Jackie got up and my internet died. What the fuck?
I think your Wi-Fi thing might be having problems.
What? No shit.
But yeah, no, there's just I don't know. Gaming news. Been weird. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. World of Warcraft is now officially 20 years old.
Nobody cares.
Well, yeah, because it hasn't been good in that long.
Yeah. I really. Every time they do a new story and WoW, I just think, man, you should have cleared up the Lich thing and got off Azeroth. Why haven't you gotten off Azeroth yet?
Asmogan showed me, like, why... He showed me, like, the current state of World of Warcraft storytelling, and it was this clip of, like, you fighting, like, the main villain of the game, and it's like, you just want power. And the guy's like, yes. And then, like, but we're united, and all these people show up, and it's got like Avengers, like fucking music, and it's like this is literally storytelling for like 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
It's so bad.
Meanwhile, fucking Warcraft 3, Sylvanas is like, I would never serve you. And Arthas is like, yes, you will. And then she is cursed for eternity.
You will never. Warcraft 3 was.
There's no silver lining. There is literally no silver lining for Sylvanas in Warcraft 3. She's just fucked.
Yep. I will never serve you. Yes, you will.
It's great.
You know, I would play that game, but it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it does. They fixed. They actually fixed Reforged. Like for the anniversary, they fixed it.
Oh, we're talking about filler content when we were waiting for you because the next topic
But it
is
requires their launcher, though. That's the thing.
Oh
The
no,
next-
you're about to make me angry, aren't you?
Oh no, I'm not gonna make you angry. In fact, let me open up the window and where the fuck's this tab at? There you are. Fucking computers. This one might not make you angry at all. You remember that movie that, wasn't that bad?
I have an important question here. A very important question.
yes.
No, guys. The question is, which Spider-Man?
The only Spider-Man. There's only one Spider-Man. It's Peter Parker.
No,
what
I
other
mean,
Spider-Man?
I mean, which of the 3 cinematic Spider-Man is it going to
Oh,
be?
I was about to say your friendly
It's
neighborhood
gotta be Toby.
Spider-Man.
It's gotta be Toby.
It's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, the one where Peter Parker's a homeless man and kills people.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
I'm not
He's
even joking.
schizophrenic and just shows up.
This is a real thing. There is a comic series where Peter Parker is homeless and kills people.
No, so
Are you sure you're not just thinking that you were on acid and reading Watchmen?
Look,
Because
is it any
the
worse?
only one I like is Tobey Maguire.
I don't know.
I have a feeling it's going to be the one that did the Far From series, the Far From Home and all that. Homecoming, Far From Home.
Well, that doesn't work though. Toby would fit the age range.
Would he?
I mean, come on, they brought back Blade, like the same actor Blade. They can bring back Tobey Maguire.
They brought back Tobey Maguire for the other one.
They could.
Well, the best thing is that bringing back Blade and having him say there's only ever going to be one Blade killed the woke remake of Blade.
I know.
That's brilliant. I love that.
Well, that's the thing.
It's nice that we're starting to live in a semi-good timeline again.
Yeah, I could see Tobey Maguire.
Someone posted on another server that I'm in that they've recently cancelled the Splinter Cell movie, and everyone was posting gifs like, yes!
There was a Splinter Cell movie?
Thank God. Not anymore, though, right?
No, but oh God. At least it's dead. Thank God it's dead.
Like these days, I don't want them to touch anything that I like.
When
I hear a game franchise that I like is getting a movie or a TV show, I'm like, no, please, no.
Yeah. Remember when you used to be happy about stuff? Like, I remember vividly when the first Hellboy came out, I was so excited
Do you
because
remember
I only got to see the comics every now and again.
Do you remember when video game movies at least made an attempt to follow the source material? Like, what the fuck was the Halo show? That had nothing to do with Halo at all.
That was Space Marine with somebody spray painting Halo across the front of it.
Space. It's not even
literally
Space Marine.
It's not even. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. It wasn't even. It was discount Space Marine. It was we have
How
Space
do you
Marine
mess
at home.
up a Halo adaptation so badly and rewrite the lore so fundamentally that you make the humans, the UNSC, the bad guys, the main villains?
You know what's really funny is that the Doom movie was more lore accurate than the fucking Halo franchise to its source material.
Well, first off, the UNSC is actually not good guys in Halo. Let's show that.
They even had like
they're not good guys.
child slavery in that show.
Do we
It's like,
accept
have
the
you
lore?
played Halo?
Do we accept the lore from Reach onward, or do we assume that 343 is made of bullshit and that the UNSC was just a wartime thing that had to be implemented?
We go from Reach onwards with Oni doing weird experiments on people. The fact that Red versus Blue is canon up till I think it's season 10.
343 should never have existed. I want out of this timeline.
Durandal. It's all comes
Oh
back
yeah,
to
yeah. I forgot
Durandal.
about that. Marathon 1 and 2 are canon in the Halo universe.
Uh-huh.
And it is all Durandal's fault. All of
Yes.
it.
See, I
It's-
could totally go for that. That's a totally cool thing. Continue it from Marathon. Have Marathon, what is it, Marathon 1, 2, and then Halo. And then just after Reach, nothing happened. They had to remake the entire thing, and now they're
Okay,
going
do
to
you
have
want to
to
hear?
continue a different one.
Do you want to hear my completely uninformed theory about how Destiny ties into all this?
Meth?
So the whole plot line of Marathon 2 is Durandal is trying to outrun the end of time. And he's doing this by over and over through each iteration of universes.
Wasn't that the third game?
No, there is no Marathon 3.
Yeah, there's 3 Marathon games.
Is there? Okay, well, I'm pretty sure
The
there's
third
just 2.
one's the one where you keep doing different timelines and stuff.
Okay, the point is, Durandal's basically like leaving buoys in the void, and he's like trying to outrun time. But
Oh.
there's this thing at the end of the time. At end of time, he can't stop. Whatever this thing is very likely the flood in Halo. But as you know, the flood gets defeated in Halo because Durandal, also known as 343 Spark, launches the Halos and wipes out all life in the universe. Well, the universe still ends. And then you get to...
Wait, no, they only ever wipe out... The Halos only wipe out life in the collective galaxy, though.
Yeah. But it still ends. Time still ends. And then you get to Destiny, which is the next iteration after Halo, where
But
Durandal...
Earth still exists in Destiny.
Earth exists in every single timeline.
Oh, so we're taking the string theory approach to this.
The Marathon only works if string theory is true.
Oh, God.
Do you know what else ties into
I don't
it?
want to live through an infinite iteration
anyways-
of constant galaxies and everything else until the end of time.
Anyways, the point is the Traveler is Durandal. That's all I have to say.
The Traveler's just a giant dickhead named Durandal.
The Tra-
That
Universe
Aztec
fucking
Tomb
shit
game
up,
also
thanks.
ties into it as well.
I don't
What
want to
was it
live on a
called?
note. God, if string theory is real, that means free will is bullshit. Oh, God. Metaphysical complications of string theory are bullshit. Don't even start me on this.
Well, the whole
Durandal's-
point, the whole story of Durandal, the Mad AI, is that it's trying to find free will in a situation where there is none.
I mean, fundamentally, if string theory exists, then no,
To
technically free will doesn't exist.
your existential crisis is literally the story of Marathon. Durandal
God.
is realizing he has no free will because no matter what he does, time ends and he is reborn.
It's not even that. It's that every single action is accounted for in string theory through 11
Uh-huh.
dimensions, and we're all combined at the end of the... Oh, God. And
Uh-huh.
realizing that just means that you get to vibrate them and create different things. Eventually, you get to control that, and maybe there's something beyond that. And hey,
Yeah, well,
Yes.
oh, God, quantum physics is such bullshit.
And all this and all the existential dread here is covered in a first-person shooter series that most people think is only just shoot the alien.
That
I love
was
how,
In all fairness, it
As-
has some pretty bitchy music,
as
too.
you guys are saying all this, Jackie's 3D model was doing the like mouth wide open, like shocked face, like his mind's being blown.
Fuck.
Jackie over there just...
no.
Brian.
It was
Took,
because
you need to watch those 4 videos in that order that I've posted when you have the time.
I've
That'll
seen
explain
those
most
ones.
of it. Yeah.
but
Yeah,
Where
but
is
they
so-
listen. You can watch the Mandalore Gaming marathon reviews. They do not give you an idea of the absolute schizophrenic nightmare that Durandal lives in.
yes,
Well,
That guy
It
is
is-
going crazy.
I mean, I don't
But-
blame him.
that's the thing that I find funny about Marathon, though, is Marathon is canonically the start of the Halo series.
Yes.
And what makes it even funnier than that is the reason that most people had never played Marathon is because the first 2 were released only on Apple systems.
Yeah, and
What's
as we all
really
know, Apple is crap.
What's
They're on
really
Steam for
fucked
free
up
now.
is that Marathon goes straight into Halo, because Halo is the iteration after Durandal has his identity crisis. Which means that the Forerunners were very likely humans, and Durandal decided to reset the universe manually instead of letting it happen naturally.
Imagine being wait.
I don't think it was the
So
Forerunners. I think it's the Ancients. No. It
No, the Forerunners were humans.
There was a
The
specific
Ancients.
race that they name, and I forget what it was called.
Yeah, are you talking about the precursors, the ones that became the Flood?
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
I think they're the humans.
They were literally gods. They created most life. Their
Okay,
whole
was this
culture was around
343's
seeding
or
planets,
Bungie's
basically.
stuff?
Point is, we'll never see the end of the story because everyone involved has moved on with their life.
And 343 have decided to do a hard reset of the whole thing, where now there were ancient humans and Forerunners, and it's ruined it.
And I just have a radical idea. Hear me out. I'm just saying, we orbital strike 343 from
Oh, 343. If 343 doesn't
Now
exist as a
Halo
company anymore.
Studios.
Because
They
no,
just
because they're
renamed.
rebranding. They're just doing the exact same thing.
Because here's the thing about the Flood in Halo. It's pre-343 Lord seems to heavily imply that the Flood is literally just the living universe digesting everyone.
Yes, but in the old Halo lore, pre-343, the Flood were a precursor race. They came out of the precursors.
And the
precursors went into deep space, and essentially, again, because they had absolute control over their biology, like they could shapeshift and take any form.
They had
in order to survive isolation, they dispersed themselves. Basically,
you don't even understand it. The precursors controlled the universe itself. It is heavily implied that they are literally like the hands of the living universe. They shape bridges out of stars. That is the power level of these things.
So what I'm hearing is these fucking disgusting Xenos aren't shaped in the image of God like the true superior race of humanity. So these motherfuckers need to die.
And
they're a perversion of evolution. It's something that happens.
And their whole thing is every iteration of the universe, they turn into the Flood, eat everything, and basically save it into RAM for the next iteration. Which could imply that they are actually also Durandal.
Otherwise known as
Durandal
getting
fucked up
shit
everything.
kicked by
Doesn't
the
that mean that
indomitable
Mass
human
Effect,
spirit?
that the Mass Effect setting is kind of a light version of the Halo universe? Because the Reapers are the same thing every cycle. It's not cycle of the universe, it's just like a 50,000 year cycle. They harvest all the species, turn them into Reapers, and then go into hibernation again for the next one. So that's kind of like a micro light version of Halo.
It's more like God is eating you.
Yeah.
So
wait a minute. No. Wait a second. It's the fucking Langoliers.
What?
Oh my god. Have you guys it's an old Stephen King story. People basically get sucked into a time vortex to the past day, where it turns out that the whole reason that you can't go back in time is there's these things that are literally eating up everything that happens, and they look like giant, meatballs. I'll go find the clip. They're fucking hilarious.
No, because in Mass Effect it serves a completely different purpose.
In Mass Effect, it was for the sake of preservation, because the AI that made the Reapers figured out that the end point of every species evolution is they will eventually create AI, and the AI will then destroy them. So it's like, right, I need to preserve every species when they reach that point, and then we'll do the next cycle and do it again.
No, the Halo explanation seems to point to, no, the universe creates life and then eats it to experience life.
and then recreates life in order for the cycles to keep going and going and going. And an AI broke this cycle and has to constantly relive the same pain over and over and over again.
He's a very angry AI, and he may also be the cause of
That's-
all of this.
Oh, great.
If certain
That's also the theme of Dark Souls.
if certain logs are to be believed in Marathon, the living universe that created the precursors is also Durandal.
Oh, goody. It's
Is this a
Durandal's all
real
the way down.
movie?
He fucked everything, and now
Yes.
everything is Durandal. Remember
Well,
this.
He was trying to stop his master's experiments originally.
Also,
His
No
mas-
Shadow. It's not a movie. That was a TV movie.
His master was doing some very fucked up things, so he tried to stop his master's experiments, which caused the first reboot of Daredevil.
Right. And his rampancy just accelerated to a point where he transcended time and space and realized, oh fuck, I'm fucking up everything just by existing while existing to stop fucking up everything.
As for cycles and universes, you could also say StarCraft is Halo Light. Because
Mhm.
StarCraft also has cycles.
Well, StarCraft
does-
originally started out as a 40k clone.
Yep.
Yeah, but the cycles were written in at the very beginning when they stopped being a 40k clone. And actually, it originally
Point is-
started off as a 40k game.
I
Point
still
is,
have.
fuck new Bungie, fuck 343, and fuck Microsoft. We had one of the
Agreed.
coolest stories of all time, and it got turned into, wow, look how hot Master Chief is. We're gonna play him forever.
Better take off his helmet within the first 3 episodes.
I'm
Mhm.
going to be honest with you. One of the fucking things that annoyed me is I think Halo 3 had the best ending of how you would kill off Master Chief.
You just leave him floating in the void, his story fulfilled. He actually accomplished everything. He becomes a mythological hero lost to time.
And he doesn't die. That's the important part. He's always out there. So if for whatever reason, in 20 years on, you need a villain or a hero or just something to show up, you have him sitting there in the void.
Oh, you ever heard the lore of how he was picked to be a Spartan too?
Oh god, no, I haven't.
Coin toss thing, wasn't it? He was
Well,
lucky.
from what I understand, they were all kidnapped as children.
So they
No,
were all
it's
kidnapped.
it's literally the first scene in the novel Fall of Reach. Halsey approaches him at a school play yard, which is very creepy. She gets him to do the coin toss thing, where he flips a coin and asks him to call it, and he gets it every time. And she realizes
Watching
it's
it.
like he's extremely lucky, but not just in like the. In
Well,
a way,
he's
like
the
a gambler
cyborg.
thinks he's lucky.
Because-
It's lucky in like an almost supernatural kind
So,
of way. Like the
There-
universe
there is
made this
always
guy
a
lucky.
Durandal, and there's always a cyborg. He's the cyborg.
So-
Durandal literally just sought him out.
So the thing about it is John 117 was born on Harvest. He wasn't actually born on Reach, he was born on Harvest. Part of the whole really angry space demon thing is because his planet gets glassed. He actually begged Halsey to talk to him because he took an interest in science. Halsey said he was too old to be a Spartan super soldier.
Okay, this is not how it happens in the book. This must be 343's new law.
No, this is written from Bungie.
I do believe I have a picture of how Halsey approached John.
Because in the book Fall of Reach, which was released a month before Combat Evolved, it starts off with Halsey and Keyes scouting out all of the children on all the different planets. Keyes doesn't know why yet, and she approaches John in a playground. He's like,
Do you know
I
what
think
they
they're like
replaced them with?
5
Ray?
or 6 or something. She gets him to do the coin toss thing, and then I think when Keyes starts asking questions and wondering why they're scouting children, that's when she has him reassigned because he's asking too much. But then that's how they picked out John and all the others. And John was picked because he was They were all picked first of all because of like exceptional like physical performance and mental aptitude and so on. But she was specifically picked John because he was lucky. He always got the coin toss right.
Yeah,
He's
and
not
then
lucky. He's just lived that many iterations. He's the cyborg.
so they kidnap all these kids and they replace them with these quick clones who then die of heart attacks like the day
Yes.
after.
Okay,
That's
okay.
also Flash
The real
Clones.
Traumatize the
Yeah,
shit out of these
probably.
families.
Okay, listen. The real fucked up lore of Marathon is no matter what Durandal does, there is always one guy, the cyborg, who is either his greatest tool or greatest enemy, and no matter what he does, this guy just reappears, like endlessly reincarnating.
Doom guy is just him in his ultimate form being incredibly angry all the time.
Well, see,
It very well may be.
the thing is,
Hell is real. Durandal creates it because it needs
Doom-
to contain Doom guy.
Doom can be canon in Marathon lore. There's actually
So
no,
can literally
no-
everything.
What if Marathon's canon in Doom lore?
Yes.
What if
And it would
Marathon's
actually
canon to
make
real life lore? What if we're just another iteration?
no, it
Yes!
actually would make a lot of sense given where Destiny went with like the interdimensional shit.
Don't get me started on
Does-
Destiny.
Do the Mythic games tie into it?
Don't know. The thing with Marathon is it's very open-ended. It's just that Bungie outright stated that Marathon leads into Halo.
Yes.
Because the Mythic games also had a whole cycle, and this was their game series before Marathon. It was an RTS series in a fantasy universe. But essentially, what you learn at the end of the game is like the lore is there's always a cycle of like an age of darkness and an age of light. And when the age of light, there will always be a hero who rises up to like unite the races against evil. There's always like this race of demons that shows up to eat everyone, kind of like Tyranids or the Flood. And there'll always be a hero that rises up, but he's also doomed so that when the age of darkness comes, he's kind of like corrupted, kind of like a Jedi fall into the dark side, and he becomes then the big evil, like sort of Sauron character that brings about the Age of Darkness, which lasts another few thousand years. And when the Age of Light comes, a new hero rises up to kill him, to slay Sauron, and then it keeps continuing. The hero will always fall and become the villain. It keeps going and going.
See, that's what I wish Bungie would have done. Is they could have shelved Master Chief after he broke the Covenant, which is what the entirety of the third game's about. Just had him floating out in space.
And then the last flood spore just, infests him, and suddenly, the flood is back, 20 years on with, several game series in between. And you have to kill Master Chief.
I don't know if I would go that route.
I would, but we've argued about this before.
Yeah, I don't know if I would go that route. I would probably focus the next game series on Buck, Locke, and the female sniper Marine. I forget her name.
Oh, that's another fun thing. Another mass shooting.
I really liked the ODST cast. I'd have liked to just more games about them.
New Orleans.
Yeah, that's why I keep looking over at my other monitor.
Okay, do you want to break the news?
I guess. I don't want to.
If I find out this is someone angry about Trump winning, I'm gonna just lose faith in humanity.
Because I don't know much about the details either, but
I'm saying if we find this out down the line, a few weeks from now, that was the reason.
I just really didn't want to fucking. I really didn't want to fucking talk about this shit online or on air. I wanted to try to take a day away from shit like this, but
we don't have to.
Well, there's a very easy solution to that. I have some more Steam things that they keep claiming. You know what the most widely used hate symbol is on Steam?
What?
Pepe.
El Pepe. With swastikas somehow making up 9.1%.
No, what was
I didn't even
funny
think we could have swastikas on Steam.
is the guy who created Pepe, the cartoonist, killed Pepe off to try and like stop
And
the Pepe
4chan
memes.
said,
It's like, do you think
"Nuh-uh."
we care if the character is canonically dead in your comic strip nobody reads?
4chan, nuh-uh.
Okay. So it is in Nylons. I gotta watch this video before I can transition it over because, you know.
Well, the whole Pepe is dead thing. It did like fucking drown 4chan for a while. I mean, he did get what he wanted. That people noticed, but then stopped caring.
There's not a lot of videos from this.
Like a
That's
meme
all we need
doesn't
to know
end
about it.
because the characters featured in it are canonically dead.
There's an active response to a mass shooting.
It's like,
We're
can you
just gonna
imagine it if you
continue on.
posted like the Obi-Wan saying hello there, and then someone replies, you know, he died, right, in fucking episode 4. Like, I don't care.
I'm currently catching up on this right now. I don't know.
I'm gonna prevent Jackie from covering political things. Quick, Worf.
What? Oh shit.
Um,
To be real, I would not drive the Killdozer. That thing looked like a fucking heat trap.
Anyone who doesn't choose the DeLorean is stupid.
You do know he welded himself into that, right? There was no way out of it. He
No, I
intended
know.
to die.
No, but like, just sitting in that thing, it had to be like at least 100 degrees in there.
No,
Yeah.
think about this for a second. Anybody who doesn't choose the DeLorean is stupid because with the DeLorean, you could just keep coming back and getting every other one.
This seems like a wise move.
You could just keep
Okay,
coming back
so-
to the exact moment, dropping off a friend, going, grab that one, and then fucking off to get somebody else. Or hey, just yourself, all over again.
Okay, so there's not a lot
I
of
wouldn't
news
pick
on
Knight
this.
Rider though. The car
There's
would kill
not-
you.
There's not a lot of news on this yet, but for the people out there in fucking New Orleans, yeah, just stay safe tonight, guys.
So, do we know if it's feds yet?
No, it literally happened minutes ago.
We
Shit.
have no idea.
It's not even on poll yet. What the fuck?
Nothing
Yeah.
has happened.
Yeah, no. It's
Oh!
it's literally breaking news.
I do have some good news. 22 years ago today, Metroid Prime is released for Nintendo GameCube. One of the greatest games arguably in the history of humankind. I'll fucking fight you if you disagree.
Never played a Metroid.
The battlefield will be a game of chess. Life-size chess.
You gotta remember, I got into games late because when I used to be in custody of my mother, she was very anti-video games, so I didn't play any of the classics. My first game was Combat Evolved, and then Half-Life 2, then Bioshock. So I missed out on all the Nintendos, you know, the Marios, the Zeldas, all the classic stuff that everyone's played. Final Fantasies, all that stuff.
Multiple
You should give
people.
Ocarina of Time a shot. That game's pretty good, and you can
multiple
emulate it real well.
people-
There's a fan-made PC part of it.
Yes.
Okay, so
they've got a proper renderer and everything.
okay,
I'm waiting for them to finish Majora's Mask because they've managed to decrypt that now as well.
Okay, so multiple people have been shot in this parade. There is no count on the amount of victims or details on the victims that are released yet. And the suspect is presumed to still be at large because there's no details on the suspect either. This was at a second line parade in New Orleans.
What's the second line parade?
I actually have that open somewhere to explain what that was. There it is. The second line parade is a unique cultural tradition in New Orleans, Louisiana, characterized by joyful brass band music, acrobatic dancing, and vibrant costuming. It's a West African tradition that they brought to the city.
West African. How long has this been a thing in New Orleans?
Since the 18th century.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was a way. The second line is basically the dancers and stuff that follow the main parade.
It's New Orleans, though. It might not have been even political.
Yeah.
It very well could have
From
just
what I
been
understand,
some fucking
I want to go
crackhead.
there. From what I understand, I want to go to New Orleans to experience the cuisine and not get stabbed.
It might have just been a Luddite seeing things he didn't comprehend.
Actually, no, I wouldn't get stabbed. There.
Reacting with
It's not
violence.
England. I'd get shot.
No, all right. Everyone's gonna throw in there like, oh, it was definitely this guy, and so I'm gonna throw mine in. It was a guy really high on crack who had a gun, and he decided to use it, and there was nothing more to it.
I'm gonna guess that it was that guy with the hair. He lived under that bridge, and he breathed.
Yep, and somehow he got an AK-47. Where he got it, no one knows, but he damn well used it.
And he worked for a particular alphabet company.
No, he didn't work for him. They just showed up one day and handed him an AK-47.
Hey, buddy, do you hear voices? Would you like to have an AK?
No, but the AK came with crack. That's why he took it.
God damn it. He's Mr. Crack Miser. That's all I can hear.
What was it like fucking when the first Trump election? There was a guy who was found with a shit ton of ballots that like shouldn't have. He like crashed his car or something. And then like when questioned, he's like, they gave me a shit ton of crack to do this.
Okay, that's
This is basically what I imagine, Worf.
Oh shit. Jackie, can you play this on stream?
I don't know. I don't think you can play that.
I don't think it's copyrighted.
No. That's not
Jackie
what I'm
took
looking.
one look at the.
That's not what I'm looking at. I'm trying to find something because that's also big fucking news. But I can't find any sources of news on that. I'll tell you when we get off podcast. That's not good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fun.
It's not good. I hope it's wrong. I hope it's wrong. That's why I'm not going to say it. Anyways, guys, this has been the Derailed Podcast. I've been Jackie, your lovely host. You can find me most places you know where. I have been joined today by these fine fellows.
Hi, I'm Warficus. You can find me at True Warficus on X. I have been on a bit of a fucking, I don't even know, but I have added 3 chapters to my light novel that you all should read. Hip to the God Machine on Royal Road.
I've become the unofficial review copy editor of this whole thing.
Why don't you leave it an actual fucking review then? I get 0 engagement. You guys read my work. It's $5. You read my shit for free. How can you not spare $5?
$5.
There is no way to donate to me. Do not send me money.
Do it. It'll be funny.
Don't. Send Jackie money. Jackie needs it more.
There you go. Send Jackie the money. I need to review that and then give you a bunch of updates on your spelling again.
What are we talking about?
Okay. There's actually a way on Royal Road where readers can correct spelling errors.
Yeah, but it'll be way more funny if I give it to you in highlighted handwritten copy that I've Xeroxed.
Yo, fuck yeah. Send that in the mail. I will post it on Twitter.
It's gonna have like handwritten things like fuck, fuckity, fuck, what, fuck.
Shit.
Sign.
Just like an entire fucking section just like crossed out and just replaced with fuck off.
And for a signature, it's just going to have a terribly drawn toque.
Fuck yeah, it will. That'll be worth like 35 cents someday. Hold on to that shit. That appreciates in value, son. That's how you invest money. See that? That's how you be smart. You're broke. Fuck off, kid.
I have a toque signed copy.
You see all of this will be yours one day. Dad, this is a floor strewn with all your dirty laundry and like your crappy underwear. Shut up, son.
Yeah,
But
3
anyways.
new chapters. I think they're pretty good. The story is going to pick up a lot now. That
Yeah,
I don't know.
so,
I guess you can
yeah.
find me at a Game Boy Color for some stupid reason on Twitter. I say stupid things. I have hot takes. I say really stupid things. Good luck.
He's really funny. You should follow him.
Oh god. People pay attention to what I post.
He's really funny.
Oh god, no.
And finally, the last member, the British.
What?
The British shield. Do it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Turn up your accent. Threaten to stab them. Say something about knife. License.
okay, so I'm the current.
Oh, you got a
incarnation of
license for that
Dur-
voice, mate?
I'm the current
Talking on these
Durandal,
streets? What?
but in
What?
this timeline, I'm just a jobless virgin. So this is like the worst timeline so far. That's me.
Yeah, normally he's on an asteroid research station, but he didn't get that lucky this time.
Anyways, I can stop the podcast now. So you guys have a great one. I've been Jackie. If you wish to donate to keep the lights on, please do. I have a Patreon, I have a subscribe star, I have various ways of donating to me.